Hello YouTube, it is me. I have been gone for more than a year, but I wanted to do a Nullscape guide because it has gotten popular and whatnot. I really like Nullscape, so we're going to do Nullscape. We are going to start with Bell. Bell is an enemy that cannot directly kill, but can get people killed by distorting vision when, upon use. It will destroy everybody's vision, and it will throw you up into the air if you use it. It has a curse called more ringing, and it can be wrong by other enemies. And we have Pocket Bell, which is the only associated upgrade for any enemy, which is Pocket Bell, if I haven't said that again, which gives double jump, or which gives an extra triple jump if you have double jump and Bell. Next is Mart. Mart is the funky little guy, the mascot, I would say. He's a plushie. Mart is a funky little guy, has his audio or whatnot to tell where he is or what he is. It is a blue little slime, or the water imp, and he just whispers around the map. He moves at a slow, constant pace. He emits a small light, or a small white light, and he's an insta-kill, and he could go through floors and whatnot. Most enemies in this game can. He has two curses, Mart Slide, which makes him, which increases Mart speed, but making it very momentum based. And then there's Mart Infection, and it adds a temporary Mart every time a player dies. Next we have Baby. Baby is a screaming little child, locks onto the nearest player, and when it locks onto the player, it creates a red dashed line in front of itself to indicate where it's about to dash to. It will start screaming as soon as it starts dashing. It has I'd say, worse entity, or whatever part of it, that is called Void Baby. I will get into that later. Baby has two curses and two greater curses. Pacifier, which makes the dash indicator less visible and muffled the sounds of the baby. And this curse or whatever is shared with Voidbound Baby. Problem Child is basically makes the baby have a chance to reroute its path, making its dasher faster and longer. This is also shared by Voidbound Baby. Tantrum is a greater curse, and it makes babies that are far away from you enraged. Enraged babies will dash way faster and further. Rebirth turns all current babies and future babies into Voidbound babies. I'll get into that later. ICBM is an intercontinental ballistic missile. It is a heat-seeking ballistic missile. It locks onto a certain player, or random player actually, and it's indicated by a radar warning lock sound, and a large red circle appearing beneath the player's feet. After 2.5 seconds, it starts dropping at the target's position without any adjustment, so basically, after 2.5 seconds, it stops locking onto you, but the blast radius becomes bigger, and it starts dropping. It kills anybody if it's caught in a radius, and I think it would kill anybody that's like a few studs high and a few studs low. So, if there's someone above you on a platform that's pretty close to your head, you might want to get away from that, just in case. It has two curses, Bigger Blast and Missile Silo. Bigger Blast increases the IBCM's area of effect, and Missile Silo triples ICBMs. There's the greater curse called Hollow Tiles, which basically makes any ICBM that hits any tile, makes the tile break. I don't know. I do know actually. Skinwalker is a funky little guy that follows you further from a further distance or a closer distance depending on the curse. It has 6 curses, so that's a lot. But most of them are pretty simple. Taller Skinwalker, closer Skinwalker, further Skinwalker, random Skinwalker that varies the distance between each Skinwalker. Skinwalker Presence, which makes a little a transparent image of a Skinwalker and follows your camera with a slight delay that blocks your vision. And then there's Congo Line that triples all Skinwalkers, so multiplies the number of current Skinwalkers by 3. So if you had 5, you have 15 now, so you're kind of good. And then we have Springer, the last early game enemy. Pretty chill dude, chess piece, specifically in the night, based off the night chess piece, and has a red spinning crosshair showing where it's about to land. It creates a shockwave every time it jumps and lands. Sorry, every time it lands from jumping. It'll create a shockwave that goes outwards though and knocks players touching that touch it. Knocks players back that touch it. So, and Springer only kills you when landing directly on top of a player. Mighty Chivalry will triple the amount of permanent Springers, current and future. Spring loaded leaves a shockwave when it jumps, and the landing shockwave is much bigger. We have mid game enemies. Flash. Flash is a little hand that's flesh hand that targets the nearest player, and any tiles that it touches infects it, which slows the player if touched, and makes them not able to use their abilities. There's one upside to this, which is stopping Cuckoo for a short amount of time. Touching flesh will instantly kill you. And being infected and touching non-infected tiles will infect those tiles. Flesh is similar to Mart. It can go through any objects, but is a little bit faster, I'd say. Then it has a greater curse and a curse. Bloodier Meat, which makes flesh able to infect tiles from further away, and mass infection. No, this is not Forsaken. It's pretty self-explanatory. And basically mass infection makes tiles a lot longer to cleanse, and the debuff lasts longer. There's another good thing to counter flesh, which is Bell. Bell cleanses all nearby infected tiles. And you. So that's pretty good. Next we have Null. Null is an invisible thing that not many people understand or whatnot. Is completely invisible until you get nearby to it, and once you're close enough, it will lock onto where your last position went and charge at you. So basically, it will charge at you, but most of the time it won't kill you unless you don't know where it is or you don't know how it works, or unless if it's in front of you. Null is invisible, as I said, but it makes a quite loud sound, I'd say. It has like a static sound, and it has two curses. Redacted. Redacted for every third dash, Null chases the player rapidly for 10 seconds, which is not good. Do not do this. Content removed. It adds 2 fake Nulls, and for each Null that move quicker and have better homing and dashing. So the fake Nulls will have better homing and dashing, but they will not kill you upon touch, and they will actually impair your vision rather than killing. Guardian is a projectile-only enemy. It cannot kill you by touching you. It can only kill you by throwing bullets at you, and it only fires a volley of 3 bullets. It has 2 curses. Shotgun, which fires 7 projectiles in a hexagon formation, and it has camouflage or whatever, camouflage curse, which basically makes it invisible when it's moving. Guardian is a skull. I am not describing this, so I'll tell you what they all are. Bell's a bell. Mart is a blue water imp. Baby's a baby. Well, okay, you can actually understand what most of these are. Dozer. Dozer is a smiling guy, whatever, yellow guy that smiles. He's from the Graced collab, and if he appears on your screen, that basically tells you to do not use any of your abilities and do not use any input, basically. Do not put any input into your game until he disappears. He is much harder in hard mode. He takes a lot longer to stop, or whatever, and he instantly kills you if you continue using your abilities. Telefragger. Telefragger is from funky little stick man that teleports in front of you. Has the speed of Mart. Just use that as a basic measuring unit. That'd be funny. The speed of Mart. Telefragger just kind of teleports you in front of you like every 7 seconds, making a loud audio cue and he's probably the worst enemy to deal with. I'd say everybody would hate him more than Cadence. Cadence is so suck, but I don't know. Telefragger has one normal curse called Telestabber, which makes him able to like have a small chance to teleport behind you, and with a gives you a great speed boost. Or gives him a great speed boost. Muted is the greater curse, which just mutes Telefragger's sound cues, which makes him a lot worse. So you gotta time it out. So every 7 seconds. Next we have Voidbound Baby. Voidbound Baby is like baby, but has a lot farther lunge and is a lot faster. It shares the same curses as Baby that are just the normal curses, and nothing else much. Voidbound Guardian is like Guardian. It shares the same curses as Guardian, but it is a purple skull with yellow flowers and a vine on it, compared to the bright pink Guardian, I'd say. It will have homing bullets, and it'll have an extra bullet. So, much faster, so you have to dodge it, and you have to focus on that a lot more. Nobody really likes Voidbound Guardian. I do not like it. Nobody likes it. Then we have question mark, which is just basically a random enemy every round, a random temporary enemy every round. And if there is any ability that tries to double this enemy, or the question mark, it'll just make another one. So another random enemy. So 2 permanent random enemies instead of 1. Cuckoo, I've talked about this guy from Flash a little bit ago. Cuckoo is a blue smiling head with 2 X's for its eyes. It has come from the Grace Collab as well. And Cuckoo randomly activates, and it will show a number from 8 to 12. Afterwards, it will start to count to that number. Before it hits that number, you must use your ability, and you have to wait for it to basically disappear and it'll have a sound cue when it disappears, and when it disappears, you can stop using your ability or whatnot, or you can be on the ground. I don't know. This is different for every player. Cuckoo will not appear when playing as Prisoner, because Prisoner does not have any abilities other than just a 25% speed boost. And being infected by flesh causes Cuckoo's timer to pause, which is really great if you're being chased by literally everything. Cuckoo does not naturally appear in casual, so in casual you're fine. Then we have Voidbreaker. Voidbreaker is basically the Deltarune Knight. He throws a sword at you for every Voidbreaker. It's like a, what do you say? Volley. So basically a round of swords every time. So it'd basically be, he throws a volley of 1 sword at you per Voidbreaker until you have a curse or a greater curse. There is no curse for Voidbreaker, there's only greater curses. One greater curse is a ballet of blades, of blades, which doubles the amount of volleys and increases the rate of which they are fired. And Blade Bombardment is the other greater curse, which adds 2 swords to every volley, which makes this adds 2 swords to every volley, makes some swords move faster, but each volley comes out slower. So it's basically like a shotgun. You have to bang a whole bunch of bullets, then you have to, like, I don't know, you could it's basically reloading the shotgun very slowly, then shooting the shotgun pretty fast. That's what that is. Cadence starts off passive, cannot kill anybody. It will have a constant ticking, but it intensifies. It will spawn instruments to your players, indicated by a sound cue, and it'll have a chain connected to Cadence. If it has 2 or more uncollected instruments, it will decrease the timer. Otherwise, the timer will slowly increase. If the timer expires, Cadence will become enraged and rapidly chase the nearest player, killing on contact. This continues until enough instruments are collected for the timer to go back up, or there are no targets left. And each difficulty, cadence does not appear in casual. In normal, the timer ticks down if 2 instruments are present, and in hard, the timer ticks down if only 1 instrument is present. There's no curses for cadence, which is pretty great. Now, we have Catalyst. Catalyst is a level 100. We have recently just learned about Catalyst from a level 100 run. I am so happy for the people that got to level 100. Congrats on you guys. Catalyst is, I don't know, some sort of Huber entity. It's also known in game as that which is visible, beautiful dark. So it's an enemy that appears on level 100, but at this point in progression, it's the only enemy remaining in the enemy pool, causing the server to select it by default. Catalyst takes on the form of a distorted imagery with chromatic aberration effects, taking a shape of some kind of sphere. Like Cadence, it makes tiles around it completely black. Its enemy icon is a blackened out tiled square, or tilted square. Once the round starts, Catalyst will play a sound cue, which is heard globally. After the sound cue is over, it spawns after 10 seconds have passed, and announces its arrival, which distorts the map atmosphere for a short period and shakes the camera, accompanied by a scream. Catalyst will chase down the nearest player. Once Catalyst reaches its target, it will rapidly try to dash into them, while also releasing projectiles aimed at its targets. While chasing, Catalyst can let out a scream in similar fashion to the one in which it announces its arrival with, and raise the rate at which it screams. If there is no target close to the Catalyst, it will teleport close to a random player, which makes a loud noise heard globally as well as the map atmosphere distortion mentioned earlier. After it teleports, it will scream, though it will not move until it is done screaming. Catalyst also has the ability to summon a minion. This minion will slowly move towards the closest player. Likewise, the Catalyst itself, this minion can scream, albeit its tile darkening effect is weaker and its sound cue is only heard in proximity, which will make it speed up rapidly. It is currently unknown whether this minion can despawn. Lastly, Catalyst can summon hands which behave similar to ICBMs, in which they will lock onto the players and try to hit them. These hands have a long sound cue before they show themselves in an attempt to hit the player. It is unknown how these hands choose their targets, though it seems like they are likely to target the players Catalyst is targeting. That is all the enemies. I will move on to something else now. Curses. Most of the curses I have already talked about. If I haven't, then I'll talk about them. Ice tiles. Add some slippery ice tiles. Lower gravity. You think this would be helpful? Basically, lowers the gravity by about 33%. Random spawn. Spawns every player into a different place. There is a rare chance that you'll spawn on top of an enemy or a trip mine or the void, due to really bad generation or just slow generation. Savory Ring, 50% golden gift yield, but grants a random enemy. Scattered Gifts adds random position offsets to gifts during generation. Weaker jump pads give jump pads less of a boost. Beacon Mirage makes a fake beacon. Bigger trip mines. Delusion. Temporary enemies cannot show up anymore. Or, basically, delusion means temporary enemies will not be shown in the menu, but will still appear. So, do not worry. Does not mean that they are completely invisible, but you don't know what's where. So, if you're like on level 33, you don't know if there's a cadence or not. High Roller increases the alter's chance of outcomes of negatives and positives. So basically, all in or you lose it all. Lap 2 is you have to get Lab 2 is basically 75% more gold gifts, slower destruction, and B requires gold gifts. The beacon now requires at least 40% of the total amount of golden gifts to open. Does not appear if you have fragile gifts. This curse can ruin runs if a last man standing situation occurs early. In most cases, fragile gifts is the better option. Fragile gifts, 75% plus gold gift yield, but doubles the collapse speed. More trip mines, which doubles trip mines. Stairs. More stairs and slopes will be generated. This makes the map more vertical. It is mostly a free curse. Trip nuke is exploding. Trip nuke makes any trip mine that you explode have a blast radius, basically killing anyone within the radius. Tweaked odds. It is sort of an upgrade that guarantees a positive effect as long as the players can handle the negative effect. Fake count is basically a fake count of how many presents there are. It will randomly change. Take full advantage of the gift arrow to find the last gifts. There is nothing, 25% gold gift yield, no downside, no there is. 25% more gifts, but secretly adds extra enemies for the current level. It's RNG and misleading, keep your guard up. Crayonify. Randomizes the sprite of any enemy, assigning them a cartoony doodle sprite to each enemy. With an enemy ESP, it will replace the usual green circles with red circles with random unrelated names under them. Really bad. Autorama increases the size of sea mines by 20%. Minefield, 50% more sea mines. Unobtainable curses, if you want to talk about that, but I will not do that today. Now we have greater curses. Trap card, doubles all current enemies and adds 2 random enemies. Run, sea mines chase after you after activating them. One less choice. The number of choices available for enemy in curse selection is reduced from 3 to 2. Inverse destruction. During the rush, platforms are destroyed starting from the center instead of the outer borders. Void implosions. During the last 10% of gifts, void implosions will start spawning, which means purple spheres will begin to appear when there's 10% or like 1/9 of gifts, or 1/10 of gifts are left. After a few seconds, they will implode. After a few seconds of appearing, they will implode and kill anyone inside of them during the implosion. Subspatial barrier will protect anyone from one implosion, void implosion. Sorrow. Occasionally, the skybox will turn red and stay that way for some time. During this time, any player in the air with no ground will have their sorrow bar on the right side of the screen fill in. If the bar is filled, the player dies. This is from the Grace Collab. Doombringer is also from the Grace Collab. Doombringer is on your shoulder, basically. Doombringer spawns on your shoulder. After a semi-random amount of time has passed, it will start screaming. If it screams too much or too long, you will explode. How to stop it? You have to go onto a bounce pad or a grapple plate. Then he will shut up for quite a while. Not quite a while, for a little bit. That is all the greater curses that I haven't talked about. Now we will talk about upgrades. Adrenaline is for solo exclusive, but it adds 10% movement speed. Business license gives 25% golden gift yield. Diffuse kits gives 20% chance for the trip mines not to explode. You can have 3 diffuse kits max. Paycheck. Gain 50 golden gifts every round if half or more of the players survive. This will give more gifts if per 2 to 3 players. The swiftness ring has a stack of 3, but it's plus 10 movement speed per each ring. Enemy ESP. It's basically seeing enemies anywhere around the map. Better gift arrow lets you see nearby gifts, and the arrow will always appear and highlight gifts. Better jump pads. Need more to explain? Probably not. Double jump. I should explain again. Gray swings greatly enhance air control. Grappler points. For grapplers, small points that let you reel in to gain speed and recharge your extra jumps. For other classes, it's harder to reach jump pads that give a huge boost. Grapplers cannot use grapple points as a jump pad though, sadly. Last for Bloxy and standing. Gain a movement speed boost, 4 seconds of invincibility, and a shield when you are the last one alive. This requires for 3 or more players to appear. So 3 or more people in the lobby, then you get this. Pocket Bell is, I have talked about this, you only get this if you have the bell enemy, a permanent bell enemy. Trip Mine ESP. This highlights all trip mines. Advanced Gravity Coil. 25% increased maximum jump height, controllable jump height, basically, which allows you to hold space or tap space or whatever for different variations of jump heights. Helmet. Bonking sends you upwards and allows full air control. More altars. Spawns an extra altar. Subspatial barrier allows you to take an extra hit from trip mines and void implosions. Ninja Belt improves class-specific abilities, and each class gets a different effect. Gift Magnet increases pickup range by 0.05 studs. Stacks 3 times, so you can buy 3 of these. It is better to buy this later, though. Matrix Tetrahedron. Instant acceleration. Completely removes the slippery icy movement. Shield allows you to take an extra hit. Void still insta-kills. Sport Shoes, 60% movement speed. Real Wings allows you to fly upwards for a maximum of 3 seconds. The flying timer determines by how much you hold space. Tapping can increase the distance you can go horizontally. Orb enhances your ability. This is for casual. It's casual exclusive, which just enhances your ability. That is all of the upgrades. Now we will go over classes. The Charger class allows you to charge in a straight line for most of the time with barely any turn control. Using your normal ability button allows you to charge in a tank hit. If you hold the alternate ability while charging in the air, allows you to have a platform for a small amount of time. Charging in the air allows you to quick drop, which increases jump pad height. Diver allows you to press ability to dive. You can jump out of the dives. Ninja Belt will allow you to jump for a longer dive. Spirit allows you to use your ability and leave your body. You could double press it, fling yourself, or you can use alternate ability. You can take 1 hit as it goes. Grappler allows you to grapple around the map. You have a pretty long range, but you have a pretty short timer. Prisoner/Wicked, or Wanted, you can only get from having the level 25 badge. Prisoner gives you no abilities, and the only upgrade is speed and 1.25 trip points. Wanted requires a level 25 badge as well, as I said. You don't have any ability, movement upgrades are stronger, and some upgrades don't work. You do get 1 extra jump for a double jump and pocket bell. So if you're to have double jump, you are to have 3 jumps total, and if you're to have pocket bell, you are to have 5 jumps total. When facing Cuckoo, you have to spend all the double jumps to survive, and when facing Dozer, you need to have at least 1 extra jump stored in order to survive. We are going to move on to altars. Altars. There's multiple altars in this game, but most of them nobody really uses, for the most part. Protection altars. Spawns a blue bubble around the altar that will give players near it a shield when activated. This does not apply in solo and will only give the player a shield. There's the altar of chance. Altar randomly picks a positive or negative effect to apply it to the current level. It can change appearance based on which curses are currently active. Altar of Passage summons red shaded tiles that have gold gifts on them. Echoing this altar will only give gold gifts. This altar does not need any loading, and this altar is will do nothing during rush. After a while, these red shaded tiles will disappear or collapse. Altar of Purification trades a random curse for an enemy. An Altar of Echo activates the previously activated altar again. However, the Echo version of an altar is often different from its regular version. Typically, the Echo version is static and does not react to changes in percentage of gifts collected, whether altars of certain type have already been activated in the level, meaning its effect is the same the majority of the time. And there's Altar of Purgatory. There's the Greed variant and Revive variant. When activated, adds the temporary enemies to the level from the current enemy pool. Changes in form depending on how many gifts have been collected. 0 to 50% collected is Greed, 50 to 90% is Revive. This altar is disabled beyond 90% gifts collected. Greed variant grants gifts equal to the total number of gifts present, multiplied by a number which increases the higher the level the number is. The multiplier is increased to 2 on level 15, 3 on level 25, and so on. Revive revives all dead players and adds entities. That is all the altars. And there's nothing really else. Thank you for watching. And I can post some of my Nullscape stuff later on. Hope you have a great day. Good evening, good afternoon, good night. I don't know. Have a nice day.